Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight, and we got a good crowd here. We got some excellent, amazing photographs. I don't know if this group got a chance to look at the last groups, but my goodness, I'm going to unmute you, so please mute yourselves as soon as I do. Audie and Alicia and David and Gabby and Lily Dale and Mike Moore, Paul Brousseau, Miss Puffer. I'll watch for other people coming on. Please mute yourself if you're not if yeah, please mute yourself until your time to talk. That way we don't pick up any extraneous noise. Find that little mute button that's floating around on your screen somewhere and push it. Alrighty, fantastic. If you guys didn't get a chance to look at the Friday group, wow, they've got so many neat things um, to share with you. Share with you all. It's just really great stuff. And of course, my Tuesday night group came in absolutely rocking and rolling here. So fantastic. I do have to find of the folks that are here right now. Does anybody have to go first? So I need to get Miss Kine done first because she's not here, but she's studying for something, and told her I would let her go. I would go first so she could handle these great pictures. Yes, so she could find it easily when she comes to listen to the rewrite. And welcome to Anna. And okay, so we'll start with Kine and go from there. Does anybody have anything they want to share with the group? Anything at all? No. Someone,
Don,
yes.
um, I uploaded in addition to this week's assignment, I uploaded my assignment 10 photo for the musician shot
Yeah.
at the same time. Did that get separated out into a different folder because I actually
Yeah,
labeled it week
it
10?
it did. Actually took it out and
Okay,
yeah. Um, but it was a nice shot, David, and I will put it in the number 10 group.
okay. I just didn't see it here tonight, so I thought I'd ask.
Yep. All right. Such a high level of
Hey,
creativity.
Don,
Yes.
did you see the stuff that came out from Blurb today?
I was
They're
just looking at
they're
it.
working with Amazon.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. How cool is that?
I
Wow.
know.
Folks, what's
I
happened is
posted a bunch of
go ahead and tell them,
I
Paula.
posted a bunch to um Blurb is now working with Amazon. So you can sell your book on Amazon. And then you can't do electronic books, but they're also offering free ISBNs, which I don't know what the details are on that yet. And then they're also adding some new software for image-rich books. So I posted all the links on the Project 52 Facebook site this afternoon or this evening when I got home. So
Yep. And if you're smart and you know what you're doing, take the time to learn the software. You can create at the same time you're creating that book, you can create an electronic book yourself um, if you want to offer it that way. But yeah, very very cool stuff coming out of Blurb. That's a big deal today that you can do that. So very very exciting day for those of us who love books, and I do love books, and I like to buy books, and I have more books than I have shelf room. So thanks to Blurb, that'll continue. All right. Okay, well, if nobody else has anything, I hope everybody goes up and takes a look at that Blurb thing. Let's get this show on the road here. And we're going to start with Kine. She's not here, um, but this is her just beautiful photograph. Uh, Black Angels is the name of the album, or the piece that y'all had to listen to. You're welcome. Um, If that didn't give you nightmares, I'm not really sure what will. And Kine, I don't know where she photographed this, but it is an absolutely perfect album cover, Kine. Your use of black and white's absolutely incredible, and it really pulls it off well. This is a black sculpture with a white top on it, but because of the heavy predominance of shadow and darkness around it, it does give off the impression of a black angel. So it is really great. And thank you for the square. The I know that's in the brief, but sometimes that gets missed. And it looks really great, Gabby. It looks fantastic. I have absolutely nothing to say about this shot except wonderful creativity and beautifully done. I just wish you were here to tell me a little bit more about it. But we'll catch you when you're done with your class. All right, let's get back up here. And we're going to start over here with Gabby's. I think this is Gabby's, right? Yeah. Gabby, you out there?
I am here.
All right. Beautifully done. What is your lighting?
I had one gridded softbox strobe camera left, and that was it.
And you shot one and then resized it, correct?
I did. And actually, what I did, I don't know if you can tell from there, it's probably too small, but I also overlaid music, an old sheet of music into the wood.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that I can barely make it out that there's something in the wood.
Yeah, very, very faint. Yes, and so yeah, I resized it and composited.
Very, very pretty.
Thank you.
Um,
I also
and
realized I did the wrong size, but
yes, I was going to say it's not a square. Um,
ugh,
yeah, we can probably crop into a square here, but um,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely well done. Just a gridded softbox, huh?
yes.
Okay. One thing I think I would have done, um, Gabby, just to make it have an appearance of not the same one, is twisted these a little bit different on each.
Okay,
You shot it 4 times in that position, but just kind of twisted them a little bit so they would have a feeling of different instruments in there.
okay.
But I do like how you inlaid the music. What was that? Blend mode?
Yes.
Wow, very cool.
Thank you.
A lot of times I want to see white cards over here. I'm glad you didn't. This is all mystery over here, which is exactly what the music called for and what the album called for. Black Angels. These are very dark and very black area. Wonderful, great stuff.
Thank you.
Lily Dale. Is Lily
Yes,
with us
sir.
tonight yet? I
I
don't.
am. I'm right
Oh, you
here.
are there. Okay, good. So explain this picture to us.
Okay.
Is that a tornado coming up over there?
Yeah,
All
it's not a
right.
very good tornado, but I've been working with composites more and more because I really like to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use this year to try to get better at it. I know this isn't up to par. I couldn't get the feet right. That really bugs me. But when I listened to the music, it was like I honestly felt like they threw music at me. That that band or whatever you want to call it. It was almost like glass shattering,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't figure out a way to depict that until I kind of thought of this.
Well, I studied composition with him for a year um, when he was
Really?
a visiting composer here. And when this piece was premiered, it's west of the Mississippi premiere. I was with him at the time and helping them set it up. And what we ended up getting were a couple of these great big, well, not a couple, actually, I had 3 of these giant Marshall amps, like rock and roll bands had.
Uh-huh.
And when they asked him, well, how loud do you want it? He said, I want their ears to bleed.
Oh.
And the guy kind of laughed. And I looked at him. I said, no, no, no. He really does want their ears to bleed. It's the notation is as loud as possible on it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely cutting glass kind of sharpness to it, and the tones and the sound of the electric violins. It's pretty scary.
Yep.
Okay, so you've got that now. You've shot different pieces of paper and floated them in.
Right.
Okay, now how could you make this paper look more real?
You know, that's what I really struggled with. So I'm hoping to get your opinion on that because I don't know.
Well, we've
I'm
got
kind of
light
stumped.
coming from the left on the young lady,
Right.
right? And our light
Right.
on the paper just doesn't seem to be consistent.
Okay.
Is it consistently from the left?
Well, yeah, it was shot under the same lighting. The whole
Okay.
thing was. Yeah. And I didn't twist anything around. It was just pretty much cut and paste and size up and
Okay.
down.
Yeah. And you've got this nice little shadow going on under here. I don't know, Lily. There's something that's bothering me too about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I looked at that and looked at that and I said, I better let it go and move on. But yeah,
Well, what do
that's,
you think,
I don't
folks?
know.
I mean, anybody want to jump in? What do you think? Some of you guys have done
The only
composites. What do you think
the only
she
thing I
could have
would
done?
say the only thing I would say is lighten the grass by her feet. So
Okay.
because it looks, I mean, you were saying you were having a hard time getting the feet right. The only thing I would say is I'm assuming the grass layer is on its own layer.
Right. No, actually, it's the whole background is one layer. So yeah, I guess
Mhm.
Yes,
she's
meaning
superimposed.
separate from her.
Right. Yeah.
So take a highlight layer and go white on, highlight next the ground next to her feet.
Okay.
Oh, that's David's right. If
Maybe
there was a light lighting her up here, it would definitely be lighting up the grass here.
Okay. I went the other way. I tried to darken to kind of blend it in more, so that was a mistake. Then I'll try to redo
I'm
that
not
then.
saying it's a mistake. I'm just saying that's the first thing that caught my eye.
Okay.
Yeah,
Excellent. Thanks.
I think I agree because this leg is lit up. Lily, do you see that? This foot
Yeah,
is
I see
lit,
that now.
and this knee is bent forward, so this leg's in the shadow. So this foot is lit. So that means there's got to be some light striking that grass down there.
Right.
As far as the paper things, I just don't know. I
Yeah.
just don't. It's like they're too flat, and yet if they were lit from the same side, maybe we needed to not light them with the same light, but light
Are
them
they
with
too bright?
a
They're too
smaller,
bright.
more gridded
Bring them
light that
down.
would give us a lighter, darker area, so there was dimension on the page.
Perhaps if they curled, boss, if they were curling like the curling pages that are flying around, they look more dimensional, and maybe they need to be slightly more muted and backlit slightly just to take poetic license. I don't know.
That's a good idea. That's a very
Well,
good
they,
idea, Adi.
yeah.
Yeah, I like see the curled ones look better. Do you see that,
Okay.
Lily Dale?
Yeah.
If you only use the curl ones, I think it would have been better. I think when I look at this, it's this one I don't like.
Okay. Got it.
And look, I made it go to something else. No, that's the one that jumps out at me as being the one that's a problem because that one's not a problem. That's not a
Okay.
problem. This is kind of cool in here. It's just this one and maybe this one here. These two like
Okay.
presenting just in my face kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, very very cool. Good.
I'm not.
Did you shoot
I think
the
you've got a
outside shot just recently?
Yeah. That was shot near my church. And then I twisted the trees.
Got it. If you're planning on doing this and you're planning on having a young lady standing here, right? It might
Uh-huh.
be worth it to pull out your speed light with a shoot-through umbrella and just put that light across the grass where she would have been.
Oh, good point.
To
Okay.
prepare lawn for her because it's easy to add the shadow in the bright. You
Okay.
can just highlight it and then take it out.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
that could add some adventure too. Yeah.
I'm not digging the tornado
Okay.
because it's a different color than the clouds. And I know there's going to be some color difference, but if you've ever looked at pictures of tornadoes, there's also a lot of sameness with the clouds. Your tornado looks like smoke to me. It doesn't look like a tornado.
Okay. Okay. I'll fix that then.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. I really appreciate all the input.
Yeah. Working on getting that tornado. I mean, is that the first tornado you've done?
Well, yeah, and it was a tutorial, and
All right.
I
Well,
was trying to copy and paste one from somewhere, but I couldn't find anything decent.
I think what Paula, are you saying that the clouds, these are the wrong clouds for tornado, right?
Well, there's that too. That's more of a cumulus cloud, and if you look at tornado clouds and the images of tornadoes, they're much, much different.
Well,
Gotcha.
they're flat.
Yeah, they're not bumpy at all. It's a flat sky because of that. That's how they get the twist.
And that could have actually pulled out that twist even more.
Okay.
Brother Dale.
All right.
All right. Well, very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Hell of an attempt there, and not bad on the end. Is there a light up here on her hand? What is that white line there?
Yeah, that's I lit her from with two speed lights on the back and that Apollo orb on the front.
Okay.
Or it might have been a softbox.
Okay. So we could have. I know what it is.
What?
I know what it is. The light is falling off really fast on her, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yet the papers are all lit up.
Gotcha.
That's what it is. These papers should be darker and more of the backlight on them because they're farther away from the main light. That's what I'm seeing. I think that's what I'm seeing as the papers are so flat and everything else has dimension.
Okay.
All right,
I
cool.
will fix that.
All right,
Thanks.
very good. Thanks, Lily Dale. And this one's Rob.
Hello.
Hi. Wow, this is cool, Rob. What did you do here?
Well, my original idea had nothing to do with this. I wanted to take a picture of a guy with four crows on his arm, and there was this big black crow in my backyard, and every time I grabbed my camera, he was nowhere to be found. So finally, I decided just to forget about the crow. So when I listened to the music, it reminded me like right away of a 1970s B horror movie. The background, like a slasher type movie. So that's what I went for. I've got 5 images in here. There's the one with the hands on the ears. There's a texture in the background to attempt to give it some depth. I have a little sculpture of a musical instrument that I bought, and my cat's eyes. And then I left some space where that angel is. I left some space for text, but then I decided not to put the text in, and I put one of the little angel figurines that I had photographed before. I took another photo of it and inverted it so that it would be black, and just tried to color it all red to give it that horror movie feel.
Well, you did a great job with this. Such a nice construction.
Thanks. I'm trying to work on the compositing as well, and I'm just having a hard time knowing when it looks right and knowing when to stop, because to me, since I see each individual piece, it looks fake. I don't know when it looks right.
Well, you're creating something totally unique here too. So it is kind of hard to know when it looks right because it's not real. It's never going to be real. It's always going to be an abstract. We have abstract hands and the bented tubes. It's always abstract. You're just going to have to I like this screaming face down here.
His ears are bleeding.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You really captured the flavor of the music here. Wild, um, very unique. I like your little musical notes and everything that you put in here. Rob, that's a very well done shot. Very well done. Very pleased with that. Very pleased. Sonia, we have we have plain music and we have looks like some sort of wires. What an interesting still life, Sonia, using the wires and the shadows of the wires. Sonia is not here either. I'm going to unmute Marjorie, so mute yourself, Marjorie, and Nicole and Paul. Mute yourselves, folks, so we don't have any issues. And Sam and Samana. Sonia couldn't be here either. I think she left me an email about this. Let's check that out real quick. Do, 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 do. Nope, nope, it wasn't Sonia. All right, all right, it was Sonia. Okay, nope, I thought she had an explanation, but she didn't. Okay, Sonia, you're not here to tell us a little bit what you did. I like it. I wish there were more shadows, like this shadow down here on this. I wish there were more shadows across that paper because paper just starts to get real flat really fast. And you've got all those other interesting shadows coming across it. Maybe something a little bit. I see a bright line here. I just like to see more of that type of thing across it, Sonia. But that's a very not a bad shot. Not a bad shot at all. Not a bad shot at all. I don't know what these are, but the shadows are great. And maybe some glass block or something in front of your flash to throw a little bit of playfulness as well as these shadows. I don't know. Maybe that large sheets of white paper get very naked pretty quick. And who shot? Oh, I remember. This is Samana's, right? Ernie, mute yourself. Ernie and Marjorie, mute yourself, please. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I'm in San Francisco and it's noisy. Sorry.
Right. All right. Whose is this? No one's gonna claim it?
Don, this is me, Sumana.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, that's mine.
All right. I thought this was yours. Okay. Samana, I wish you hadn't cut off the violin.
I agree.
That's because it's such a beautiful instrument and a beautiful background that you've used here. I think you're just in too close. I think you step back, take a half step back and give us some space around this violin. Let it breathe. We don't have to cut off the bottom of the violin. We have to cut off the bottom of the bow. What's your background? What is that cool background?
It's the stairs of my deck.
Ah, stairs.
So
Okay.
we haven't stained it and pressure washed it. So with this winter, it had a good texture. So and the violin is not straight, it's slanted on the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I was trying to get it close. And I actually sent you another version. I don't know if it's too late to pull that out, but that has a complete violin and the bow.
You did send it?
I uploaded it to the
Oh,
same location.
yeah. Once we're into the show, it's got to be by email.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I can't get to that location that easy.
Okay.
If you want to send it by email, that would be cool. Let's look at your light. Is this just your overcast day?
Yes.
Wow.
It was close to sunset.
Yep. Yeah. I'll wait about 5 minutes and go check. In fact, I'll do two more and then I'll go check the other one. I think if we see the whole violin, it's going to work out better. And
Okay.
if we do see the whole violin, I think we're going to pick up another stair here, aren't we?
Yes.
So that would give us 4 strings
Yes.
for a quartet. All right. Good. Good. All right. I'll wait for that shot. Sam Breach.
Hello, Don.
Hi. I'm so glad you did something like this, Sam. This is your style. You took the assignment and you created your own type of photograph for it. Beautifully done. I love this look of like she has 2 sets of arms. That's very interesting.
The idea behind that was because of the quartet. You know, I was thinking of the number 4 and having 4 arms, and that's how that came about.
Yeah, beautiful shot. That's a black angel for sure. Now, is she on a rock? Is that what that is there? Or is that the dress?
That's part of the dress.
Part of the dress. Okay. Where was this taken, Sam?
It's in Iceland, near Vik. Have you ever seen the picture of that crashed DC plane?
Yes.
It's right there. The plane's behind me.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Now, this is all natural light.
Yes, it was raining, so we couldn't get the lights out at this time.
No. Wow. Boy, that would make such a beautiful cover. I like everything about it. I like your very muted sky. The distant.
I actually composited a second sky in to give it a bit of texture because it was pretty flat.
Yeah, once it starts raining, there's really not much we can do with the sky. It just flattens out really quick. So I like the little texture that you added, and that very nice warmth that you have all the way through the shot is just really really cool. The black sand, everything being very black and mysterious. Wow, that worked out pretty well. You being up in Iceland for this assignment.
Yeah, I think it did because I think I have another shot for the air for the next week.
Oh, good.
Well, it's just worked out that I'm working on right now.
How cold is it up there?
It was pretty cold. I'm in Ireland now. I was in Iceland. The weather kept changing every 5 minutes. It would be horizontal snow, then it would be sunshine, then it would be rain, then it would be, I mean, it was just the most crazy weather I've ever experienced.
Oh, very cool. Well, beautiful shot, Sam. Beautiful job.
Thank you.
Just gorgeous.
Thank you.
And this one is, whose is this?
This is Catherine. Hi.
Hi, Catherine. And you gave us 2 of these, right?
I did.
One's a little more contrasty.
Yeah. And I was a little, I don't know, I just kept coming back to thinking about putting that angel in there, and I just wasn't sure. So I uploaded both of them because I wasn't sure which one I liked more.
I like the one with the angel.
With the angel?
I'm going to go with the one with the angel. I just think it's kind of hidden in there. It looks to me like you found George's music. Oh, you did?
I did.
Yep. By the way, when he originally did this music, he actually drew the staves and everything. This has been mechanically reproduced, but George uses a ruler and a tiny little drafting pen, and he just uses white paper and creates all these things with his ruler.
Wow. See, now
Yeah.
that would be what I would rather put there.
Yes, they're and his handwriting is, it's all just perfectly notated in this little what do you call architectural printing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to watch him work. Just
Mm.
incredible,
What a
beautiful.
great honor to have gotten to study there.
It was a lot of fun. I studied with two composers that year, and um, George Crumb influenced me a lot. If you guys saw the music that I wrote, I used a ruler as well. Gee, just like the teacher, huh? Um, and drew out everything. So it was the zen of doing it helped
Yeah,
do it. And the score is only what, about 8 pages, I believe. If I remember right, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a huge giant score, folks. It's only you know um, just a few pages. Beautifully done. And these are these bows?
Yeah. So I went to a string music instrument rental store and photographed the viola actually and the bow in several positions, and I ended up just using the one position and compositing it like this. The light was what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I just was just looking around to research it a little bit, and then I found that music, and I thought, oh, that would make a perfect texture to drop over the top of that. I played with layer mask and with layer styles to blend them like that and to make that blue. Oh, I used the lighting effects to make the blue in Photoshop.
Yeah, that's so cool to have those very hard shadows from the strings.
Yeah.
Did you use a flash for that, or?
Yeah, I used a gridded flash,
Mm-hmm.
speed light.
Such creativity.
It
Wow.
was a fun project. I really enjoyed it. And everybody's, oh my God, this is, I'm blown
I,
away by what I'm seeing here.
yeah, me too. I was sitting here about an hour ago. I got to the office here and I pulled them up and I'm going through them. I'm just shaking my head. It's like, wow, wow, so amazing.
What a
This is
group.
this is really going to be a hell of a year. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a hell of a year. Such talent. Marjorie Decker, how
Don,
are you?
this is Sumana. I just sent you an email. Sorry, didn't
Uh,
mean to interrupt.
all right, I will take it. I will look at it. I saw Marjorie. Marjorie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Ah, all right. So you didn't use a violin. You used a guitar. It's probably what you had. So,
That's what I had.
yep, yeah, not a problem. Um,
Yeah.
all right. So, how did you like this?
I backlit it from a big window,
Oh, okay.
sitting on a desk, and I put a black background behind it. Actually, I was trying to do black and white background, but it wasn't working for me. So I just went with the black.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just brought it into Photoshop and converted it to black and white. And then I brought it back into Lightroom and I took an adjustment brush and I went down the lines a little bit, gave it more exposure
Right
to
in
pop
here.
it out a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the
And
flower is composited in.
actually, I put the flower in there, but the thing is, I was going to put a face or something else in there, and all of a sudden this flower came, and I went, oh, okay, this will work for right now. But I kind of missed the project about the Black Angels. I went, oh well, could have been,
Well, that's okay.
it didn't, bring the Black Angels into light here, but
Now, this light that you used here. Wouldn't that be pretty if you were able to get a violin and just catch the edge of that violin
mm-hmm.
in black,
Yeah,
and that be the
yeah,
only thing in the photograph? So
right.
it's all black except that edge of the violin.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Just as you lit it here. Very, very nice. Um, Okay, I think it's great that you pulled out these things. What happened with this one that stayed black? That area right there really bothers me.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think it was. It could have been. If I'll go back and look at the guitar because I was looking at that as well, and I think there's a. Is there a hole there or something? Or I can go look at that thing.
There may be. That may be in the guitar, but it sure does catch the
Mhm.
eye, doesn't it?
Yeah, I could have, you know, pencil it in, so to speak.
Kind of grab this one right here and clone it over there, adding the string and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have cloned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the beginning of the. Yeah, actually, that was the beginning of the hole in the guitar. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, not much you can do with that. All right.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then how did you light the flower?
That flower was out. That was outside when I went out a couple of weeks. We were just photographing flowers, and I just used it. It was diffused lighting, skylight.
Okay. I think it would be a little bit stronger of an image if you rotated it to get those strings going straight up.
Straight up and down? Okay.
Yep. You see how they're a little bit off? They're not a
Mhm.
lot
Yeah.
off. They're only a little bit off. And remember, a little bit off's worse than a lot off. A lot off, you meant to do it. A little bit off, you don't know.
Okay.
So, yeah, and you could just do that with the rotate.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Thank you, Marjorie.
You're welcome.
Alicia. This is Alicia's Black Angel from Trinidad.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Wonderful shot. We looked at this yesterday in your one-on-one.
Yeah.
Beautiful photograph.
Thank you.
You're going to have to tell us how you did this because you've got a lot going on here.
No, not really. It's just, let me see, two strobes, one on the left, with an umbrella. That's more to the back. One to the right, that's near the front. That's almost directly in front with an umbrella. And there's a speed light that's been cut out. It's like right next to her, maybe about 2 feet away from her. And that's like for the second wing and for her hair and, the violin and her shoulder, that kind of thing.
Up here?
So, no, well, there's one there, yeah, to the back.
Okay.
That's a strobe with an umbrella.
Mm-hmm. And
right, and then to the front, and then to the very front, there's a strobe. Yeah, on that side, there's a speed light, yeah.
And you took that out in Photoshop?
Yeah, so no, the speed light would have been just a little further, maybe, but somewhere in that vicinity, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
That's just such a pretty shot. What is she sitting on here?
It's a bench. I have it in my garden. I have a table and a garden set, and it's covered in this foliage and very romantic looking little garden set.
And you went with the fog. You created the fog in Photoshop.
Yeah, my fog machine wasn't working that day, so I had to fake it.
Wow. This goes so well with the idea of the album. You guys have every one of these shots could be considered album worthy. Some of you might have to reshoot and do some tweaking, but every one of them, a concept is king, and that's just fantastic. I love the makeup on your angel here.
I always get a pro to come and do makeup because I wouldn't dare attempt it.
And the black hair, perfect. And the little angel wings. Oh, what a fun shot! Your little strobe that you brought in and took out with Photoshop. That's such a great idea, and it's something that everybody should keep in mind. Sometimes, if your camera's on a tripod, sometimes you can just do that, folks. As long as this light isn't falling on the background and creating a problem for when you take it out. But if it's in the picture, all you have to do is take a second picture with it out, and then you can just grab that area where it isn't and drag it over on top of your speed light, and it's gone. Just literally gone, just like that.
Fortunately, I had, the same foliage everywhere, so it was easy to just clone stamp it out.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, you can do that as well. A great reason to use a tripod when you're doing shots like this is to be able
Yeah, I used a tripod, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Well, just a beautiful shot.
Thank you.
Beautiful shot, Alicia.
Question though, before
Yes.
you move on, did you get my email about the theme forest thing? No.
No, I didn't.
Remember we spoke yesterday about purchasing the domain name, so I did that, and I went to Theme Forest and I got totally distracted and I saw a bunch of other stuff. So I sent you because you suggested that don't purchase one without letting you know first.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So,
yes, I did get
yeah.
it. I did get it. Yeah,
Okay,
and I'll take a look at those ones that you looked at.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure you got it. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
You bet. And my friend Bruce Lawler also found some that I'll share with you.
Okay.
Let's get up here and find. Let's see.
It's an attachment on that one. I just replied to the Tuesday confirmation, Don.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we've got all of the bow in, all of the guitar. I mean, the guitar, all of the violin in. Yeah, and we've got those clouds are just beautiful as a light source, especially in the shiny. We got the highs and lows of that. I would have loved to seen some sort of fill down here to pick up because this is so beautiful. The bottom of this violin is so beautiful. It's going a little bit dark.
Okay.
And so maybe a white card could fill that in a little bit. But I love that you took it to black and white. It has a starkness to it, a coldness to it. That's very much in keeping with the Black Angels. I think the whole this could be this way a little bit more, and the violin could come in this way a little bit more. It's off center in the frame, and yet it's calling out to be centered. It really is. This you've got this going straight up. You've got those lines going straight this way, and it just I would love to see that violin dead center, and then the rod or the bow coming in right next to it. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, really very pretty. And what did you add a vignette to it, or is that natural lens vignette?
No, I darkened the edges.
Okay.
I just took a brush in Lightroom.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of it doesn't look like a vignette like a slider vignette because it's high up here and it's high down here and it's just right in these corners and it's just so grungy looking. I really like that. I like that better than the other one. Samana.
Thank you, Don.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we have Anna. Anna. This is
Hi, Don.
Hi. This is such an interesting photograph. Tell me how this is Black Angels.
This is a string art that I made in a shape of one wing.
Yeah, I saw the wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's that's like a piece of art there, Anna. And this little edge that you gave makes it look like it's in a shadow box. Is it in a shadow box?
No, that's I arranged this so that it was on a piece of a square black piece of cardboard on white polyester, so it kind of gave itself a frame. So when I came to process it, I put a frame on in, I think it was Alien Skin has a little frame, but actually it didn't need an awful lot of it because it had the black and white edge to it anyway. It just took out the texture of the polystyrene.
Wow, just such a nice shot. It does have this great vignetting. I saw the wing right away, so I knew you were going for that, and it just awesome shot, Anna. So creative.
Excellent. Thanks.
You're not thinking outside the box anymore. You've torn up the box and burned it. There's no box left. This is really fun.
This was about I think the third or fourth concept that we had run through. The other ones weren't quite as good as this.
Wow. Now you know what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put some text over here to really sell it. Yeah.
Okay, the name of the album, right?
Maybe, or just as a, it could be maybe some verbiage from the album placed here,
Okay.
or from Wikipedia. Some text from Wikipedia placed here about George Crumb and Black Angels. Premiered on such and such date with such and such string quartet, something like that, and just make it kind of a fine art piece.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Sure, beautiful. I'd love to see what you come up with that. Really
Thanks,
would.
Tom.
Beautiful. Ernie Glazer. Ernie, are you there?
All right. Mike, here we go. Hey, Don.
Hey, you're very low.
Oh. How about that?
There you go. All right. So you put in 2 shots. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm so glad you did, because this shot doesn't do anything for me at all.
All right.
This shot rocks.
Thanks.
This shot is some chess pieces on a board, nicely lit. There's no doubt about it. They're nicely lit, but it just doesn't have any real spark to it. It kind of looks like 4 chess pieces on a board, maybe a reportage type of shot. This one, that's really cool. So how did you, well, first of all, let's go back and how you lit these, because these are lit nicely.
Yeah. So there's it's a friend's house. They have this old chessboard with these old pieces, which I always found interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole row of windows that are about 3 or 4 feet off the ground. They start, so they're kind of the top half of the wall, and there's a whole series of them. So what I ended up doing here is actually using the blinds on those windows to mess around with them a little bit. I put that black card in the middle, so I have light coming over the black card, and then around the 2 sides you've got
it. Yeah.
Reflectors back behind the camera on each side that I move closer and back and forth and messed around with a bit. Then I put one more small reflector angled over the top from the right to kind of provide a bit more light on the top and behind the pieces a bit.
Yep. And so you shot this is sort of this is not thinking outside the box. This is not, I mean, it's not a bad shot, Ernie. I don't mean to say it's not a bad shot.
Yeah.
And if this is the only one that you turned in, it would be okay. But then you did this.
I did, yep.
And
yeah, I kept looking at that, trying to think of different things, and I thought, I really want to do this. So I put those 4 pieces there, shot them out of focus with a 24 from up above, and then composited in that old music on parchment.
Yeah. What a huge difference this makes. The fact that they're out of focus is awesome. It's like they're in another realm. They're in another dimension, so to speak. I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind when I looked at this earlier tonight. Is I thought these aren't here.
Yeah, they had such a unique shape viewed from the top, and I kept looking at them as I was moving them around. I thought, I've got to shoot these like this, and I've got to shoot them out of. And the light just lended, putting them out of focus with that light coming around from the sides like that, just made them, as you said, makes them look like they're off in some other dimension.
And that out of focus adds to the sort of antique camera look.
Yeah.
Looks like it was shot on a like a Lomo or some very low end, inexpensive toy camera, which would be very much in the keeping of this style. Very, very cool, Ernie.
Thank you.
Let me ask this: when you shot this picture, did you know you had something special?
I did, yeah. After when I saw on the back of the camera, I thought that's going to be really cool. So.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. When you just keep shooting and keep pushing and not accepting the image on the back as being final, you keep doing that, you're going to hit one and go, oh my gosh, that's it. It was like looking at contact sheets back in the day. You get a contact sheet of headshots in front of you, 36 headshots on a contact sheet, and there'd be 36 pretty good photographs, but there'd be one that your eye would just go right to it. You just pull to it because that was the one. There was no doubt about it. That was the one. And that happens with digital now. It's a different kind of feeling because we're not looking at all the pictures at one time. We're looking at them in serial form, one after another. But when you hit one that really works, you just know it. And that's cool. That's great, Ernie.
Thank you.
Solid. Very solid. I'm going to unmute Brett and unmute David Price, who was muted again. Well, he's still muted. Unmute David Price. There we go. There's Girish. So you went out and found, you actually found 4 Black Angels.
I found one, didn't have enough of her, so I photoshopped her 3 more times.
Oh, is it the same girl?
Yeah, it's the same girl, different hairstyle and height variation.
Oh, wow. I didn't catch that at all. Who else? Did anyone else catch that? Am I just the only idiot that didn't see it? Who?
I wouldn't have thought they were the same girls.
Wow, Gary, she did a great job.
He told me that it was the same girl.
Well, that doesn't count, Addie. It doesn't count to be an inside man. You did a really good job with the Photoshop, Girish.
Yeah, I used the adjustment to get a shadow effect, and I actually used one beauty dish on camera left, right? It's shot in the corridor area of my house.
Okay.
Right. So as you go further from the left to the right, that wall actually starts adding some darkness.
Yes.
Right? I start losing some light, so I added a little more adjustment and added some more shadows to kind of give an effect of one is blocking the light to the other.
I see that you've got her kind of slightly in front of her.
Yes.
Throw that shadow. The only shadow that looks bad is this one.
Yeah, that's right.
That's because look at her shoulder here, right? And look how dark that shadow is, right? That darkness of that shadow should be just like this on her arm. Should be almost that dark because it doesn't make sense for the arm to be lit like that.
That's true.
The shadows, and when you're doing composites, the shadows are the thing. And you've got to look around. Look how fast it falls off on her face here, because you've got her position like she's forward of the light. She's back of the light a little bit, so it fills in her face a little bit more. Same with these gals. You know, this girl's blocking her face a little bit. Same with these gals. They're back from the light, but this girl looks like she's forward. You know, she's like 6 or 8 inches forward, and that's going to block some of that light, which gives us the shadow here. So, very cool, Adi. I mean, Girish, very cool. Did you not use a backlight for any reason? Because I think a little bit of something in the hair would have been pretty cool.
Yet I was going to use one. I was running into a problem with the back wall was lighting up with it, right, with my speed light, and I couldn't find my card to block that light from hitting the wall.
Ah, okay.
So I just took it out, and I thought I'd bring it up with Photoshop, and I couldn't bring it as much up.
Well, are they all on separate layers?
Are they on separate? No, it's the exact same light.
When you move,
So
but when you moved them into position, they're on separate layers, aren't they?
separate
EXPO?
layers. Yeah, separate layers, yes. So
Okay.
what I ended up doing was I got her into 4 different hairstyles, and for each one, she started from the left, 1 step back, 1 step right, 1 step back, 1 step right. So I had about 16 pictures into 232, and then I selected from them and I mixed them up.
Okay. Okay. Because you could take all these girls off that black layer back there, since they're already on layers, and then put a little spray back there.
Yes, I could do that. Yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
That might separate them from the back a little bit more. But on the other hand, black angels, you know, they're coming out of the darkness. And that's a beauty dish.
Yes, it's a beauty dish.
Very
It's
good.
a 12-inch beauty dish.
Yeah, real solid shot there, Girish.
Thank you.
I love this detail on this shot. Whose is this?
Mike Moore. Hey, Don.
Hey, Mike. Beautiful, beautiful detail here.
Thanks.
Look at all these scratches on the there. The horsehair is coming apart on the bow. That great texture in here. So you went for a real close-up shot, and the idea of the Black Angels is that they're coming apart here. This music's coming apart.
Yeah, I saw that in the video when I watched it. One of the guys was just going at it, and his bow was coming apart.
Yeah,
I luckily had a bow.
That's the cello player. He trashes the bow. Gets trashed every
Yes.
time they play it. Just gets trashed because of what he has to do with it. Wow.
And my thought on this was the classical violin coming up, and then just that bow with the horsehair torn apart just coming right into the picture and diving down, kind of just put text on the bottom right.
Yep. And what's your light? I love this little highlight that runs along here. Really love how you pick it up over here. That's very nice and soft in here. And then this great, nice, lovely highlight that pulls down on the bow. This drives the eye there's no doubt. You cannot look at this picture without looking at that broken horsehair. You've used this to point at it. You've used the violin to point at it. You've used this curve to point at it. This is your shot up here, and over here is where you can put type and everything else. But this destroyed bow is the shot of the. That's the part of the shot that is the subject.
Yes, that's what I was going for. Good.
And what did you use to light this?
This is just a window, none diffused, but I put the violin. The shot was about 3 feet from the window, and then I covered about 2/3 of it with black and white cards.
Okay.
So the light was coming over the top, and then I think that's what those highlights are. And it might be picking up the white card as closest to the bow. That might be some of it too, or it might just be the sun highlight. But
and then the white cards are lighting up the violin.
So, Mike, are you saying you use the window as a strip light?
Yes, I did. I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
And I have a black card on the right side of the violin, but I don't know. It doesn't really pull in too much.
You're getting the grade on this violin is just beautiful. How it's lit up, and we get to see all the textures of it. This is really a used bow. It's got a lot of use
Yes.
to it, so um, that's quite cool, Mike.
Cool. Thanks.
Solid job. Solid job. Whose is this?
It's Nicole from Lisa.
Nicole. This one is out of the ballpark.
Oh my goodness. I'm relieved to.
Where did you find this guy?
You know what? It was kind of an accident. I was looking for another. I went to some of the old cemeteries, as old as we can get here in Salt Lake area, and had another angel statue in mind, and just happened upon the Catholic cemetery, and there he was in all his glory. It's just like, oh, this is heaven sent. Thank you.
No, so you didn't get him from Model Mayhem.
Hardly.
Wow. And the birds?
I went bird watching out. I live near a bird refuge, so I just took my camera and followed them around a little bit.
Oh man.
So
Is that a conductor's baton in his left hand?
No, it's a sword. It's actually part of the statue. It's a sword, and that's maybe I could have taken it at a better angle to make it more obvious that.
Come on, David. Does this look like a youth choir director to you?
I didn't know that she didn't add it in after the fact. I was asking.
Now that would have been clever, wouldn't it? This is the first time I've ever done a composite, and I was just a little worried about it, and after I finished it I felt pretty good about it, and then I thought this reminds me of something, and I realized I kept envisioning Charlton Heston parting the Red Sea, and I thought, oh no, I've done cheese. This is cheese.
Well,
so
Charlton didn't have the wings.
No.
He just had that old brown shirt. This is then. Now you put in the clouds as well, or were you?
I did. That's from. I went to the Grand Teton National Park last summer, and that's just from one of the images I made there.
Well, the quartet is just fantastic.
Thank
you. Four birds and the black angels, and just so creative.
Thank you.
You guys are just crazy. Just crazy. It's a lovely shot. Absolutely lovely, Nicole.
Thank you.
It's naturally lit. The highlight on the hair and all of that is just sun.
Yes, it is. It was just kind of getting later in the day, kind of close to dusk, and he was backlit a little bit. It's not totally going down. It was probably around 6:30 or 7 or so. But yeah, it's all natural.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. And you kept the tones, by the way. I love how you kept these kind of blue tones in the clouds. The clouds have that steely look as well. And then the chain down here almost looks golden.
Yeah. So I mentioned this is my first time compositing, and I'm not very. It's hard for me to select. I don't have a lot of patience. And so I did actually have a full body shot where you could see it. This is, of course, Michael slaying the dragon, Michael the Archangel. And after several attempts, we're just going to use this other shot. So
I know that feeling.
But I actually ended up liking this one. I like the dynamic. I like the angle and stuff. So I didn't feel too bad about it.
Well, he doesn't look anything like Michael in Supernatural, so.
Right.
All right, wonderful, excellent, just excellent. Paul Brousseau, we've got this one and this one. This is the one we're going to look at, Paul. The other one, is this your showing us what you first did with it? Paul? Oh no, we lost Paul. All right, Paul.
You there?
There he is.
Oh, okay. So this one is what I kind of had set out originally as my theme. I had tried to find a better textured wire. I was hoping for music wire, but couldn't get a hold of any.
Right.
And I accidentally spilled one of these while it was burning and caught, the wiggle, which led me to shoot the other one. And after lots and lots of attempts, this is the closest I could do. And I just don't have the Photoshop skills to refine the edges into making them a little more even of angel shapes.
Wow, they don't need to be even.
So,
They don't need to be even at all. I think you did a good job with this.
because this is actually one of 50 some tries. And this shot's actually straight out of camera.
How did you get the angels to burn out a camera like that?
I tapped the tray that they were on, and so a little bit of trial and error on the angles.
And it made the flame flip around?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
I had the tray.
I thought you had photoshopped these in.
No, I wanted to, like the third one, I wanted to shrink that big wing down, and then on the second one, I kind of wanted to bring this little one up a little bit, but I just didn't even know how to start doing that in Photoshop. Okay. So.
Yeah, I probably instead of bringing this one down, I probably would have pulled that up. It would be easier to pull that up than it would be to take that down. So if you take this down, we're going to have to replace wire, right? If you pull this up, it's just going to go right up in front of this other one. Right up.
Okay.
All right. Very nice.
I'm not sure how to do that really either. So, but I really like the concept, so I wanted to put both up.
I think that's really cool. Adi, how would you have done this angel here? What would you do to get this angel to match?
The wing you're saying, sir?
Yeah.
One way I've done it in the past, where I gave someone Dracula teeth as a joke, was I actually drew out a selection and cloned into that selection the flame. So it would be you would draw out a selection, soften the edge, and clone in the flame into that. So you draw your boundary out as where you want the flame to go, soften it, and then clone in the flame, and then I suppose give that edge, that color edge to it, something like that. That's from the top of my head.
I think I would have done a selection right down here, right here, and then Command J, right?
Yes.
And flip it, and just kind of drag it over and blend it in over here.
Exactly. So that's why the master is the master.
And the same thing with this one. We could just grab this little guy right here, move him to a new layer, flip the layer, and then drag him over here, and then just very slightly with a mask blend him in. This is a great idea, Paul. Don't let this go. Let's practice your Photoshop. Lift this guy up, move him over. These two guys are great. They're mysterious as hell. But this one's the one that looks most like an angel. And with that little wing, just bring that little wing right over here. And then this big wing, we just bring it right up in front of that one right there. Very cool. Don't let this one go. This is a really, really well done shot. Really well thought out, Paul. Well thought out.
Thank
you. And the fact that you didn't Photoshop to get it this close, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'll keep working on that and see what I can work with my painful mouse.
When you get it, send it to me.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Price, I think these are out of order.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Are these out of order?
No, these are not.
Okay.
This is the main shot. It is mostly in camera, except for the thimble at the bottom.
Okay.
The thimble is composited in later.
Okay.
These are, as Don can tell the rest of the group, these are all instruments that are called for in the score.
Yes.
When I got to my friend's music store last week, they ended up not having a tam-tam. They did have the electric violin, but they didn't have the gong, which would be twice the size of what you see here. So I started to improvise. But I had brought the glass with me. They had the cymbal head and the electric violin.
Yeah, cool electric violin. All right, so this is your main shot.
This is the front cover.
Okay, very nice, really
Taking
clean.
that particular idea.
Let's before we move on, we've got a big softbox up here somewhere.
If you go forward 2, you'll actually see the setup. That's the back. What I would do with the back cover. I did a quick mock up here. Go forward 1 more. And there's my setup.
Okay.
2 speed lights behind cards. I had basically a 6x6 space to work in a 10-foot room. Oh boy. They said, sure, you can use one of our practice rooms.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
So you can see the space that I started in up at the top left. And then I brought in my backdrop, brought in a PVC support to hang the cymbal and hang the violin on just above a black card that the glass is sitting on.
Okay.
And I started with the 2 lights above. Then on the right side, I had to basically recreate that set at home to put the thimble in. The shot where you see the rose.
Yes.
Over on the far right.
That was done at your home studio.
That's back in my garage at home, yeah. Basically recreated the set. In my garage. And then
what is this up here, David?
That is a homemade grid.
Oh, okay.
To spot the rose itself.
Oh, okay. It's held in a Cheerios box.
Yeah, don't judge.
Well, I've always found the Rice Krispies boxes to have just a little, but to each their own cereal box.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
And if you go forward 1 more, I did not keep the light consistently in one place. You had done a thing on Creative Live where you walked the light up and down a guitar with a card on each side.
Yes.
So if you go from top down, you can see how I move the light around left, right, and bouncing off a card front and center. And I basically took the best parts of all of that to paint in the light on the electric violin itself.
All right, now that we've seen how you did it, let's go back and look at your completed cover here, which is quite lovely, David.
Thank you.
You can see how all those little lights that you've just chosen different parts of this to use, and since the camera was non-gripist style on tripod, nothing moved, so it was fairly easy to grab little parts and drag them over, right?
That's exactly what I did. Layered in, paint, and layer mask to reveal just the parts I wanted.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of work went into that shot, David.
My wife is here saying, what's the point of the thimble? It's one of the instruments that actually is called for in the script, the music itself.
Yeah, beautifully done, David. And thank you. These wonderful behind the scenes things that you do are just great. Just great. Such a great learning experience for everybody involved here to see exactly what you were doing and what you were thinking about. I can't thank you enough for that. That's just fantastic. Beautifully done. Thomas Johnson over in Sweden felt that the music.
One question, boss. That the
Yeah. You want to go back, Adi?
Yes,
Yeah, no, just a simple question about the grid. Is that a grid or just a snoot?
I actually have a Coroplast grid in it with the straws in each little thing to make the actual light coming out of it is round.
Okay, and
so
the straws were stuck together with like
glue.
a Elmer?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I made one of those and it's starting to fall apart. But anyway, we are digressing here. So yeah, thanks a lot.
But yeah, but Addy, if you look in the low right-hand corner, the rose, the spotlight around the rose
is round.
Is what came out of that light.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
So David.
So I basically took a rectangle. It's one way to take a rectangular light and make it round.
Okay, thanks.
Here's another question.
No, I was just gonna ask. I was attempting to do the same thing, like make my own homemade grid. Does it matter? Like I've read, you know, you have to use black straws, you have to use white, whatever. Does it matter? What did you use?
I happened to use black straws, but they came with a kit I bought when I was first learning how to do. Don's gonna cringe. When I first learned how to take the light off camera, it came with the kit that I bought at the time, and so just this past week, I took out the straws, cut them down to 1 inch long, and glued them together. Put it in a Cheerios box cut to the right size. If you flicker mail me, I can email you the directions, where at least where I found them.
Sure. Thank you.
What restaurant is it, guys, that serves black straws?
I have no idea.
I think it was IKEA where Seema bought the black straws from, or was it Party City, Seema? Party City. During Halloween, Party City, black straws.
Yep, that's right. I think they have them at IKEA occasionally. Look for them. I believe it's one of the franchise sushi Chinese things like Panda Express or one of those has black straws. I can't remember.
But I just want to add something here. Yeah. I spent many hours making one, making sure that it was good and nice, and it starts to fall apart. So it might be worth the investment to buy a. I find it really difficult saying this, and I still haven't bought one, to buy a commercially made one.
I'll say it for you. I suck at DIY, guys. I really do. And for the price of these things, I know people say, "Oh, the Honnold stuff's so expensive." It's more expensive than straws. There's no doubt about it. But my Honnold stuff just looks like it just came out of the box. It's that perfect, and it's 5 years old. So, you know, and I'm not saying
I actually went looking for that Honnold kit. I'm trying to remember which kit you got, because it doesn't seem to be offered in that form now. Or am I simply not recognizing the pieces and parts that were part of your kit?
Yeah, I have these two here. I have that, and I have that. The fold-up snoot, the flag, and the 2 grids.
And a pair of grids. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I'm misremembering what
I think you were thinking about the Speedlight Pro kit, David.
I am.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that's hard to find now because they were having so many problems with their company, the internal fighting.
Those of you in America, this is election season. You might also be able to get a Coroplast sign, excuse me, and cut it down to size. That's what I use for my other grids.
So that gives you the round. That didn't give you the round.
It gives you a rectangle, but it gives you a rectangle of whatever size you like. If you cut it to 1 inch or 2 inches, you can get a fairly tight spot.
And remember, you can cut it round, and I mean, you can cut a round shape of it, move it away from your light a little bit, and really do some neat things with it. So you have, I mean, see, you start, for me, it gets way into too much DIY. If I have to get a saw out, I'm in trouble.
So you're saying basically a snoot with a sort of cookie at the end.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
You could take a
Pringles can.
Yep, a Pringles can, and then put coroplast. Like, don't put it at the end. Put it in the can, so you've got another 3 inches of can, and that 3 inches of can will help round out the shape.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And just using a snoot boss will not give me round, even if I have a longish
No, snoot will give you round, but it doesn't give you a soft edge.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a real sharp edge. Snoots are sharp edged and grids are soft edges. Yeah. They're the only thing that they do is make a smaller pool of light, but the difference is 90 degrees. Grids are soft in the middle. You can feather them and everything. Snoots, wow, you just got a circle of light. And that's what it's for. It's very hard shaping.
So I just want to share a very quick little thing here. We're sort of going to digress a little bit. I shot some art using polarizing gel, and what I discovered to my surprise is that the heat of the speed lights burnt out the polarizing in the central strip of the gel. So for anybody who's planning to do this later, you have to hold the gel slightly away from the light because, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a misnomer out there, folks, that that speed lights that flashers are cool. Oh, no. They're the same heat as a bulb. They're just only on for a tiny duration. So if you put a piece of real filmy, like saran wrap right next to your strobe, Adi, and you fired it twice, you'll melt the saran wrap right onto your strobe.
I've actually had the happy experience of using chewing gum to hold gel on the strobe during a shoot because I didn't, and then I was cursing myself. So
yes.
You can imagine what happened.
Chewing gum melted.
Burned chewing gum. Oh,
yeah. Wow.
Never again.
Anyway, I hope that helps. By all means, if anybody has any other questions about that, I'll try and help as best I can over the Flickr threads.
That'd be great. Thank you, David. Appreciate your help on that. This is Thomas Jansen's shot, and he composited this onto the violin. And for him, it just sounded like it was breaking eggs. So he went for this very unique still life approach of the poached eggs being broken and shattered plates and everything. Just went for a very, very clever thing. He's not here to tell us how he lit it, but I'm pretty sure this is a softbox over the top. That's what he likes to use. So this looks like a softbox right over the top and slightly forward. You can see the angle of the hot spot here. You can see it a little bit on that one. And then he composited these plates onto the violin. Very cool. And I think 4 pictures, some branches towards the sky. And whose is this? Nobody's going to claim this, huh? All right. Let's see if I do this. Oh, this is Kine's. Darn it, that's Kine's explanation of what she did with this wonderful picture that she shot right here. Thank you, Kine, for that. And I don't know if Anders meant to do this, to send this in for this particular assignment. It looks like it, 5211 there or something like that. So he used the 4 lines of the power lines in the middle of nowhere for his string quartet, which is pretty cool. And that's not a square; it needs to be in a square, Anders. But that's a very different take, and this is kind of an eerie looking subject when you add the context of that music with this image, becomes a very eerie thing. The company Windham Hill, which most of you probably don't remember, but Windham Hill was a music company. They put out this type of music, classical, very modern classical music. Their covers would tend to be more like this cover by Anders than most of the other covers here. They searched out metaphorical like landscapes. And so you would get this and you go, oh, string quartet by George Crumb. What's this about? And then you realize, oh, well, there's a string quartet right happening above us here type thing. So really well done, Anders, with that. That very clever shot. And that was done up on our trip, by the way, up near Page, Arizona. Wonderful set of photographs, folks. Absolutely astounding. Does anybody have any questions? I put a new download for you up there. If you haven't seen it yet, go. Oh, that's good job, Don. If you haven't seen it, oh, by the way, there's my string quartet. Get it? Get it? Or ducks. Anyway, if you go to assignments, you go to assignments only. I put up a workbook for studio work for still life. And it's just don't share it with people, folks, please. It's a book I did for Creative Live. It's a nice little book, and it'll tide you over for the next book that'll be out next month. That'll also go up there. So those of you who want to grab that book, please feel free to grab it and keep it. So, any other questions?
Hey, Don.
Yes.
I've been playing with the Bookright software while watching this and listening, and it is super simple, easy to use. So I'm doing like a 20-page magazine, and I'll post a PDF to the the Facebook site.
Wonderful.
So
thank you. By the way, I don't know if you all saw this. Flickr is offering a large format 20-page book. I believe it's hardcover, isn't it, Paula?
I don't know. I haven't looked at that one yet.
It's for $10. So it's 20 pictures, hardcover book, $10. Normally $40. So it's got to be hardcover. And all you do is make a set of your Flickr images, and they make the book for you. So if you're thinking you might want to have a little book to carry around with you, your best work, if you wanted to create a little portfolio, there you go. That's the good news. Bad news is that special deal is over the 27th. So you've got to get there and get it done. But,
do they have a profile, boss? A printer profile for that book?
That I do not know, Adi.
And they don't call the sets anymore. They had me in a bit of a tizzy. They've started calling them albums.
Yes, yeah. You create an album, and then I think there's all the instructions are there for you. You create an album, and then they make the book. And I think it's just a picture per page. It's not a book like Blurb. Just picture per page, which would work fine for me. I'd be very happy with that. 20 pictures for $10. You can't beat it. Adi, I was thinking of your black and white series that you did, the abstracts.
Yes. No. I'm thinking $10 is well worth doing something. And I might be having to meet a photo editor, and what was suggested to me was to take digital. But something like this is a leap behind if I get that meeting to happen.
Well, yeah, think about it. I mean, if somebody really was planning on something, you could order like, I don't know, 20 or 30 of these things for $300 and have 30 leave behinds for special clients. That'd be pretty cool. So, all right. Yeah. Well, anyway, folks, I'm going to let you go. Have a great evening, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you all. Let me know if you would like to see any special tutorials, etc. I'm working on tutorials, and we'll have them up. I decided to do that other workbook first and have them up. But if you need something, let me know. I respond really well. One of the folks that might be on this, no, it was in the other group. I'm working on a tutorial now on shooting film. Just a quick little thing to think about shooting film. If you have a film camera, we're doing that fun project starting May 1, 24 frames in May, where the idea is to shoot the film camera almost as though it was a view camera. So you're not going to be taking, 6 or 8 shots of something. You're going to take one shot with film, and then you take the next shot with film, and then you take the next shot. So you can use your digital camera to work it out, and then you take the shot with film, so that when you get the strip of film back, hopefully you have 24 winners. That's the goal, is how close can we come to every frame being a winning frame. So that's it's just for fun, and we're doing that for May. So I'm going to do a little thing on film, what kind of film to get, and a whole bit. I laid it out last night, and I'm shooting it tomorrow, so it'll be up this week.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, boss, was you mentioned story. Story is important.
Yes.
For better or worse, photography and image making is definitely going towards, I don't want to call it this term because it's I don't know, multimedia. So at any point of time, have you thought of doing something like an audio slideshow?
Like showing people how to do an audio slideshow?
Yeah, no, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's been a long time since I've done one. And I'm taking a workshop in May, a one-on-one with a guy to learn how to do video better.
Okay.
Because I got to learn how to do that as well. So hopefully I'll be able to pass some things on to you guys. And also, hopefully people will share. But did you see that multimedia thing, Hollow?
No, which one?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
That was cool, that Hollow.
Yes. Check this out, Adi.
Hollow documentary.
Put this down here. So there's your stories. And then you click on these to reveal the content. And it's going to have updates to it. So they're adding to it all the time. This is such a fascinating thing.
Wow.
Now watch what happens when you scroll, Audie. $100,000 people in 1950. And then it starts dropping off. And of course, I'm going very fast. This is a website, guys. This is a website.
Wow.
And then we get down.
Don, is that some sort of, do you have to know web design basically to create something like this?
At this point, the up and down scrolling, no, you can actually get a plugin to do this in WordPress. The side-to-side scrolling, that's new.
Okay.
Yeah. But the vertical stuff, Medium, remember the one Snowfall?
Yeah.
Snowfall, you can get a plugin for WordPress that will let you create something like Snowfall.
Really?
Yep.
Do you know what that plugin is? What do I look for if I look for it online?
It's called Aesop. 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 So then you click on these roots, and you go to this page. Now check this out. Notice the music playing in the background, right? Notice that
Yes.
it's a loop, but it doesn't really sound like a loop.
So this is one of the things that audio to learn audio is and to layer it is something that I need to sort of learn. There is after you've shown this, boss, there is this story done by this famous photojournalist. I'm forgetting from where. I think out of Chicago. I'm not sure. But the thing is, on Mediastorm, the story is called Marlboro Man, and it's about this this veteran, and he's speaking, and it's beautiful, and I think it won some big awards too.
Neat stuff.
Was that video there? The sun sort of changing position,
absolutely.
or is that still?
Yeah. Then you click it on here, and you get full screen video, baby. Come on, load.
Yeah, I was gonna add, for people who haven't watched it, the first time I went through it was I scrolled through pretty quick and looked at all the facts, and then I showed it to a coworker, and we paused in the middle and just let it play, and there was a ton of hidden content if you take your time to go through it. So it was really worth going through again, much slower.
I mean, you could spend an hour here easily. So
create something out of wood, or
it's called Hollow Documentary. It is.
I tried loading it on 2 computers.
It is so fascinating because this is where it's going, folks. And when you get to the end, look at it, you'll find that the cinematographer and the still photographer, same gal. Yeah. They used a lot of local photographers as well for some of the color pictures, but it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating. It is definitely where it's going.
Yes. And yeah, if whoever's here and later listens to the recording, try and listen to Marlboro Man on Mediastorm, or watch it, not listen, just watch it.
Thank you. Yeah, Marlboro Man on Mediastorm. I'm going to go put it on. In fact, if someone's on Facebook, post it on there, please. Find it and post it on there. That'd be great. All right, folks.
Don, I have a quick.
Yeah.
For one of the upcoming assignments, I want to. I've seen a photograph that I think it's fascinating, and I want to copy it or duplicate. Is that cheating?
No, because you'll never be able to duplicate it. You won't have the same model, location, prop, whatever. You just want to copy. You just want to figure out, reverse engineer what they did, right? Yeah. Send me the picture.
Okay.
And can I make a small suggestion here?
Sure.
For people who agonize about copying and thinking that everything, you have to have ideas that are new under the sun, Steal Like an Artist is the book to read.
Yep. We have always kept swipe files. So Rob, if you saw a picture of mine, you could never copy it, because even if you stood at the same spot on the bridge on Marble Canyon and you said this is where Don stood, and you put your camera up there, even if you used a 28mm lens and a Nikon DF, the sun is going to be at a different spot, and the light's going to be different, and the sky is going to be different. You may have different clouds. Everything, it just isn't going to happen. And if it's a fashion shot or a model shot or a portrait, you'll never copy it. You're just going to put your own spin on it. And so I think there's a famous saying by a great jazz trumpet player who said, imitate, assimilate, and innovate. And that's how jazz players learn. First, you got to learn how to play like Miles. And then you got to assimilate it in so that you just play like Miles all on your own. You just got Miles down. And then you start to innovate, taking what Miles taught you and what Freddie Hubbard taught you and what some other, trumpet player has taught you. And now you start to put your own spin on it. And that's how you become your unique person. So you imitate, you assimilate, and you innovate. Imitate means, gosh, I want to shoot like Dave Hill. Assimilate means, oh yeah, I got this down. Innovate means, wow, now I'm doing this other cool stuff because I've got the technique that I wanted down and I've changed it up to fit my view. So yeah, share it with us on Facebook and we'll see if we can tear it apart and give you some ideas on how to do it.
Okay.
All right. All right,
you.
folks, I will see you next week.
Thank you, boss.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Don.